Hey, this is Martha, Black Friday Crafty Haul Part 3, I think we're on now. And today we're going to be talking about Pink and Main and Doodlebugs. So we'll start with Pink and Main. I'm going to move these ones off to the side. So, one thing I love about Pink and Main is their packaging. It always makes me feel like a little bit special when I open Pink and Main's packaging and some of the other companies that do a little bit extra, just because it feels more like a gift than a purchase. And I don't know, call me weird, but it just makes me feel like, ooh, that was nice. And so I know it costs small businesses and even big businesses, a little bit of extra to do that, but it always makes me as a customer feel special and valued and like they cared that I bought their stuff. So, shout out to Pink and Main for this really cool teal packaging and the thank you stickers. So, they had a really great deal going on for Black Friday. And I believe they do this every year where they put certain stamps and dies on the clearance rack and they're like $5 and $10, and then for every certain amount of dollars you spend you get a ton of freebies. So this pile is all freebies, and then this is the stuff I actually bought. So we'll jump right in. So on my wish list I have had these three things for a good over a year probably, and they've just kind of been sitting there and never gotten around to buying them. I don't know why, because they're cute, but um I knew I wanted to pick up these three things specifically during Black Friday, and then it helped me out that they were on sale. So this is called Hey Hot Stuff, which I thought was a fun title because, dragons, fire, so fun. But I just love the glasses on this dragon, is what sold me. So cute, gonna be so fun to color. Pink and Main has a lot of cute images, and I might be leaning more into them soon because if you haven't heard, I am now a grandma. And we have our first grandson, and I feel like, all the dragons and the bears and the dogs and all those kind of cute things that can be used for boys are going to be making their way into my stash here soon, so I could be making cards and projects for him. But I just loved this because of the glasses, like I said. And I mean, who doesn't love a cute dragon? So adorable with his books and his coffee mug, or in my case, hot chocolate mug. Love this. And the way that Pink and Main's deals work this year were most of the stamps that were on the sale also included the coordinating dies. So I do have a scan and cut. So normally I don't buy the dies, but the dies are really nice to have when you're basically getting them free. So that's the first one. Hey, hot stuff. And then this sunburst cover die I've had on my wish list again, like for a long time. It's been over a year. And I love the stitching on this, how it cuts it all out. And you can put your big focal image in the middle, or just do, all paper and then, have a sentiment here in the middle. I believe my original reason for putting this on my wish list was when everybody was doing all of the superhero stamps. I thought this would be great with the paper on the end, and then, like your big Superman or Spider-Man or, whatever in the center. I believe that's why it was originally on my list. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm seeing so many possibilities for just, your pattern paper and then a good sentiment in the middle. So this is going to be a great one to have. And the other thing that I love about this versus some of the other companies is that it is A2 sized. So sometimes these panel dies are smaller than A2, and then you have that, border around the edge, which is fine for some projects, but there's a lot of times where I want it to go all the way to the edge of my card. So I'm happy about this one for sure. And this was on the sale rack also. This next stamp was not on the sale this time, but because I was shopping anyhow, I went ahead and picked it up so, I could cross it off of my wish list. And this one's called Chicken Soup. And I think it's just so funny that there's an actual chicken inside the chicken soup. I love this pill bottle over here with the pills. I love that the Band-Aids are happy to help you out, and then the same with the tissue. This spoon is a great size and can be used in other projects. And let's not forget the saltine crackers. So I do make a decent amount of get well and take care kind of cards. And so this one I just thought was so cute and something different than what, I already have in my stash. So again, wasn't on sale, but went ahead and picked it up because it had been on my wish list for a while. So I like the puns. Hope you heal super fast. With the soup. So funny. I'm a lover of a good pun. So that was what was actually on my wish list. And then these other things, I didn't even know about them. They weren't on my radar at all. But then when I saw them on the clearance rack, I was like, yep, you know what? We're going to go ahead and pick those up. So I love retro things. And this is, again, the stamp and die. And I want to say most of these were like, $10 for the stamp and die or $5 for the stamp and die. It was an incredible price. So there was no way I could just leave it on the sale rack. But this just speaks to my whole childhood. You got your tape, your Rubik's Cube, roller skate, your high top sneakers. This will definitely be used soon. I'm already kind of formulating some ideas here. And I love that these kind of Saved by the Bell type images could be made and for a background easily. And then you put your bigger image in the middle of it. And they do have the dies to coordinate with those too, which I didn't notice before. So that's going to be fun to play with. Love this one. And like I told you the other day, all Asian things, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, just speaks to my heart. And this one is called Roll With It, which is funny to me because you have the rolls. I love the chopstick here, the different types of sushi and the soy sauce, the rice. So yeah. Are you for real? That one's funny. I didn't even see that one on there. Yeah, sometimes you got to roll with it. Domo Arigato is going to come in handy on a lot of cards that I make, not just this one. I like the way you roll. So yeah, this one's a fun one. Yep. Then, like I told you the other day, my alpha and number obsession, and these, it was the alpha and the number and the die. So this was a huge deal. We have that big ampersand again, like I talked about the other day, the dollar sign, and then the font is just so fun. So this one is going to get used in my journal right away. I already have so many ideas for this one with just the words that I write in my journal, the months that I spell out. Yeah, I love this alpha. And that the numbers then coordinate and are the right size to match it is perfect. And this one is called Thin Numbers and Thin Alpha. And then 2 big word dies. There's not a cutout on the back, but this one on the right is hello, and then on the left is just a note. And again, you heard me talk about this in the last one. Love a big word sentiment, especially when all the letters are connected. It makes for quick and easy cards. Put them on with some great pattern paper, and you can have a card in a matter of minutes. So these are going to come in handy. And then this was something I had not seen from them before, and I don't know how I missed it, because apparently everybody else knew about it. But these are their card cut essential dies, and there's 4 sets to them. So this one, you have a hello, star, and hearts, and then these banner types. And then the same with this is, let's see, this one's number 2. And this is 3. I actually had them in order. This one is 3 with the pretty flower. And then 4 here on the end. And what you do with these is you'll take out the, accessory pieces and then just run this whole thing through. And I love that Pink and Main had this fit on a 6x6 piece of cardstock. So you can use their pattern papers, and you're just going to run these through, and then you're going to have squares and rectangles and banners and those pocket kind of pockets. I'm sorry, those pocket kind of shapes for pockets on the side. You can make, of course, this then would be your card base, and you could layer. And everything fits perfectly, and then when it all comes together, you have a card with all the perfectly shaped pieces that you need. You can mix and match all of these together to create your cards, and it's just a super easy way to make a lot of cards at once. And these were also on that sale, and I am excited to try these out. I had done I had done a card with something similar to these. I believe it was a Gina K die. When I needed to make some bulk thank you cards for my dad, and they came together so quickly. And so I'm excited to try it now with all these different shapes that are in those dies. And then, oh my goodness, so many free gifts. So you had really no say. They just put them all in your card, and this stamp and die set came together. This was, I think, the main freebie, and I don't remember what the threshold was for this, but, all of this, it wasn't like I spent that much money here, so I want to say that all of these came with, like, under $100 purchase, so that was pretty cool. And this is so sweet with the little bears and the wagon. I love this wooden wagon. All the critters could, sit in there if you masked it off. Happy days are those spent with you is so sweet. So sending cheer, hello friend, hooray for you, you make me smile. Again, with our grandson, I can really see using this one. So that was a nice freebie. And the fact that it's the stamp and the die is huge. So nice of them to do that. Then here are some shaker bits. And I don't know if everybody got the same one or if they were, just random. There's no label on here, so I don't know what this is called. But I do like that lime green in there with the purple. Then we have a brush scrubber. So these come in super handy when you're trying to clean your ink blending brushes. And I do not have one, so that works out great. And then they sent Cozy Critters 6x6 pad, and then the matching ephemera. So that was super nice that they took time to coordinate, that it's, that they match. I don't know if everybody's was that way, but mine is, so that's pretty cool. And this ephemera package is so sweet. I love fall. It's my favorite season. So having paper, that's pretty. Having paper that I can use for fall cards is going to be super, super nice. And this is a nice pack of paper. I don't know that I have very many packs, paper pads from Pink Main, but this is nice quality paper. I like all the plaids and dots. That one's pretty. I don't know if it tells you on here how heavy it is. I'm not seeing where it says, but this is nice. This is nice paper. So, has a little bit of a shine to it. So, very nice. So, this is Cozy Critters. Then, there were some sticky gem dots. Those always come in handy, especially the silver ones. And there is a low-tack stick mat, which is great for when you're ink blending or trying to layer projects together. They sent me an ergonomic blender brush. Say that 5 times fast. Probably can't. At least I can't. I do have one of these from before that I bought myself. And sorry for the crinkling. But these are so great. They fit so nicely in your hand. I love that they put their logo on the front. And they just kind of snap into place. And this is so soft. It's ridiculously soft. So, like I said, I do have one from before. So it's nice to have a second. I might need to pick up some more. We'll see. I haven't done a lot of ink blending lately, but that sure is pretty. And it feels like it's going to brush on really nice. If I remember correctly, using the other one, it did have a really nice feel to it when you're trying to do larger backgrounds. And then this is something that I've never seen before. These are Circle Sentiment stickies, and they're adhesive transfers. And so I was trying to figure out what you're supposed to do with them. And so it looks like, it says you cut out the image you want. So whichever, so like wishing you well. You're going to cut that out and peel back the side of the acetate. And then you press it into the surface. And then you use your die cutting machine for pressure. You apply the acetate sheet on top. And then you use glitter or flocking, embossing powder or foil. And then you run it through your laminator or your Mink machine. And so, like I said, I have never seen these before. If you have used them, drop a comment below and let me know how they turned out for you, what you liked about them, how they worked. But I am interested in trying these, especially because the sentiments are really great. Hello, friend, just a note, happy birthday. Thinking of you, thank you, and wishing you well. So, really good sentiments. So, it'll be interesting to see how these work. Always fun to try something new, in my opinion. So, when I said Doodlebugs earlier, you might have thought I meant the paper company, and that is not who I'm talking about. So, Miss Cathy over at Doodlebugs Washington has a small business, a small store that she runs online. And I've been shopping with her now for several years and absolutely love her. She's so nice to work with and really low stress, low hassle. She always goes out of her way to make sure that my orders are right and that she double checks them, because sometimes I'll have like 2 things in my cart when really I just needed 1. And I just love shopping with her. And so I send her referral to people all the time because she does carry all of like the main brands like Mama Elephant and Lawn Fawn and Pretty Pink Posh and Concord and Ninth and, like those type of things. But she has a very low free shipping threshold. I think if your order is under $65, then it's just $2 for shipping. If it's, I think there's a thing. It's like 0 to 35 is more, but if you spend more than 35, it's like 35 to 65, then it's $2 for shipping. And if it's over 65, your shipping is free, which is amazing because it's easy to get to $65 with these releases. She does have one of the best rewards systems going on. You earn points for every order, and then they're so easy to redeem. And she always ships out so quickly. And she's just a really wonderful person outside of crafting and outside of the business side of things. Just a really sweet lady. So if you are interested in any of those brands I mentioned or just want to check out her site, definitely head over there. I will leave a referral code in the description box of this video for a percentage off of your first order if you've never shopped with her before. And so she did have a Black Friday sale, but because I shop with her so much, there really wasn't a ton I needed. But I was able to pick up a few things that were on my wish list that she had just gotten in. And so I'm excited about that. The first thing are these two shaker bead pouches by Pretty Pink Posh. They sell the best shaker beads. I love these beads, and they always put them with such cute colors. And so these were two I did not have. So I added these two to my cart and picked them up. Asking me if I'm going to actually ever make a shaker card. I don't know why I can't get it right. They always fall apart. But I still buy the beads. Like every time they come out with them, I buy more. Because in my mind, one day I'm going to get it right. There has to be some kind of trick I'm missing. In the last release, Mama Elephant did have their marquee numbers that came out. And I was so excited about this because I already had the marquee alphabet. And so this was just the add-on, of course, that needed to go with it. This is going to be so fun for, you know, all your movie nights or superstar kind of cards. And I love that they included this heart just because it's fun. And then the Lawn Fawn Build-A-Bunny. So funny thing is I have all the bunny accessories and the fox accessories, but she's been out of the bunny for a little bit. So she finally got it back in. And so I was happy to pick up the actual bunny body part so that now I can make all of the other things that Lawn Fawn has been showing. And then these two just caught my eye while I was looking around trying to see what was out there for free shipping. And this stamp set from Waffle Flower just had some sentiments that I was like, yep, I will absolutely use these. Celebrating from Afar is so special. And then Grateful for You Every Single Day. And there was another one. Oh, Miss You Especially Today. Those were the three that just really jumped out at me on this because most of our family is far away. It's just us here in Louisiana, you know, my husband, myself, and our kids that are still younger. And then we do have our two adult daughters are living with us, but they're, you know, not adult. They're like, you know, late teens. So we do a lot of mailing with, you know, my parents and my brother and our oldest son and his wife. So just having this with, you know, things that actually have to do with people being away from you, that was like, yes, I need this on my stash. But the Miss You Especially Today is one that I can see me using a lot because I miss my people. I wish we lived closer, but maybe one day. And then this last one is Christina Werner for Concord and Ninth. And it's just really big. Thanks. And these are going to be great for thank you cards. There's one with a thinner font and then one with a thicker font. And I love that there's the shadow piece. And this is going to come in so handy again with bulk making cards. Powder and paper. Lay down your thanks and you're done. And so definitely check out Cathy's website, doodlebugswa.com, I believe it is, but I'll definitely leave it below with that referral link for you. Her things do go pretty quick, so if you know, like tonight is, as of this recording, tonight is a Lawn Fawn release. If you plan on shopping with her, you're going to want to be on at launch time because people are going to be shopping and then everything sells out. So definitely check her out, tell her I sent you, and yeah, I hope that you saw something here that maybe caught your eye and you want to pick up yourself. And I will catch you in the next video. I think I have 2 more parts to this Black Friday craft haul, and then I will be done. But thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.